hooker with a heart of gold, prairie nymphs, soiled doves, sporting women, whores.
Prairie nymphs is very cute.
You're listening to The Oldest Profession. My name is Kaytlin Bailey. I worked as an hourly escort when I was in high school for no good goddamn reason. I was just super curious. And then when I needed money for the first time, I got into sugaring because I'm not stupid.
I'm Wendi Starling. I started selling my panties on the internet when I was 34. Then from there, made the very smart leap to sugaring at the ripe old age of close to 35. So I do that to help support comedy.
So every week on The Oldest Profession, I am going to tell a story about an old hoe that came before us because it's the oldest profession, so it's got to have a history, right? And all these bitches have really cool stories. So I'll be telling a story from a sex worker, whore, lady of the night, woman of ill repute, whatever you want to fucking call it, that came before us.
And you are listening to The Oldest Profession.
To The Oldest Profession.
You got to keep things spicy.
What's finger licking good? I mean, come on. Obviously, The Oldest Profession
has a history. I almost burped into your, I know. I'm proud of myself. I did just burp. Sorry. I didn't drink for 2 days, and I'm like,
congratulations.
Thanks. I feel good about it, but boy, oh boy, did I want to pop open the bottle of wine on your fridge.
Ugh, man, I get it. I haven't been drinking for a couple of days because I've been sick. I've been doing the neti pot thing, which I'm going to take a video of myself neti potting and put it on our Patreon page just because I think it's so fucking weird.
Yeah.
It's just,
I have the sinus. I've been doing the sinus rinse.
Yeah.
By the same company. I just saw that in your bathroom, and I was like, look at us with
look at
us putting shit up our nose that's good for us.
Well, yeah, no, it's
I'm more wrecked from the sinus infection than I ever have been from copious amounts of drugs.
That one time we did coke together, I think is the illest I've ever felt.
Yeah.
But this has been a little bit of a doozy because I mean you know what it is. Like I feel like all of New York has the same illness right now of just like garbage dripping from all of our face holes.
I know. It's gross.
It's gross.
The bracelet guy that I date.
I love your nicknames.
Thanks. Bracelet guy. So he is non-paid. Mm-hmm. That is rec sex.
Well, it's jewelry sex.
Yeah, it's jewelry.
It's not paid.
Yeah.
It's barter.
Now he also, and here, now you see, and we're gonna get it. But can I tell you? So I needed my haircut, right? I needed to get a haircut, and he was like, well, and he said, well, I'll send you. There's a salon down the street from my place. He's on the Upper East Side. He goes, I'll say if you go there, and I'll just come by, get my credit card, and go. Now this is not a sugar daddy. Did not meet him on the website.
This is just dudes being dudes. This is just a dude instinct.
He's just a dude that likes me.
Yeah,
and we have good sex, and we have fun together.
Right,
and we prance around in robes in his apartment and drink wine and watch the news. And he's old, which is great because then we both go night at like 9:30 when I don't have a show. He's my favorite person to hang out with.
That's amazing
because I'm like, can I just admit to you that I'm buzzed off 2 glasses of wine and I want to just watch TV?
Yeah, no, I get it.
But it's fun. You cash.
You make a rich dude come hard enough, they want to pay for shit. I don't know if it's because they want to like cultivate dependency or if it's just like the cultural narrative. Like I don't know where it comes from. Yeah. I don't know if it's I don't know what it is. But I mean, I don't know. This you see this in Animal Species. Fucking right. I was watching the Planet Earth 2 or something.
Okay.
While high, and these birds that build their like fancy the male birds build like their fancy bird nests, and they put all kinds of shiny shit on it. To try to get the female bird, and then they do like a little dance in front of it.
Yeah.
Because they're like, look at all my shit. And then there's this bird that's like throwing gifts at this female bird, and one of them's like a little heart-shaped thing, and it was so cute. It was so fantastic. But Trey walked in to see this, and I was like, the boy bird's building a nest to try to lure the female bird, and Trey's like, yeah, we call it a 401k in people.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. That's all they're doing. But so bracelet guy, who's great, and it was very sweet, and I'm like, well, I have a hairdresser that I go, he's like, well, let me just give you cash then, and you can go to your person. And it was very sweet, and I remember it was really funny because this was like 4 days ago. He gives me cash. He goes, do you mind if he goes, I'll just give you cash. I'm like, you don't have to, which is reverse psychology, ladies.
Nailing it. Old pro.
And I'm like, you don't have to. And he goes, no, here. And he gave me cash, and he goes, is that okay? Does this feel weird? He goes, is this like, I don't want you, he goes, does this feel disrespectful? Because we just finished fucking. And he gives me cash. He goes, oh, I hope This doesn't feel disrespectful to you. And I was like, this is actually
Yes.
how I would prefer every interaction to go.
Yeah, can we do this more explicitly? I mean, the jewelry's great, but like the potting process takes a lot of time.
It's too much.
It's too
The
much.
bracelet guy also had snot coming out of his goddamn face.
Oh, it's his fault. Blame him.
Yeah. Yeah, everyone.
It's extra if you give me a disease.
Yeah, well, and he's real old, so I was just like, I'm like, oh, this is going to be like mixed with polio. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you know how like babies have like new
Yeah, they
diseases?
have new diseases. Because they're new to the world.
Right, so their shit's all mutated, so that's why I don't want kids around.
Old people, same problem.
Yeah, maybe he has like a vintage.
Yeah, like some vintage weird nose disease.
Yeah.
Have you ever? I made a mistake because I was feeling something. I did enough NyQuil that I was like kind of tipsy, and I convinced myself that I could give head with a stuffed nose. Have you ever done that? That's
no.
okay.
That does not sound.
It's you know what I'm sorry. I started the story because I thought it was funny, and I realized it's just gross.
No, tell it. Do it. This is a cautionary tale. It's cold and flu season.
Well,
we're still trying to get paid.
Part of my yellow boogers connected to the whatever juice is formed when you're blowing someone.
Yeah.
And it that's it. That's the whole story. We don't have to. It was.
So wait,
did it ended the night.
So did it go in your mouth at all?
Yes.
Ew, gross. But
Yeah.
it connected to make like super lube.
Yeah, super loop. We created like
Now
a super
he couldn't
lube.
feel the difference. He was probably like, "Fuck yeah, this is great."
He gave no fucks, but like I couldn't breathe.
Well, you can't breathe, and now I would honestly rather.
My trick with the blow when you can't breathe is like like inhaling like,
Right.
but it's a
Right.
dry blowjob.
It's a dry blowjob, but then also it's your own snot. Like I would rather. I would rather do ass to mouth than eat my own snot.
Weird, because I'd rather take my own snot than like some dude I wasn't dating's cum. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, it's similar to I had this
Similar.
happen. No, if I'm sucking a dick, I had this happen with a guy, like if I'm this guy, like when I suck it, like I'll swallow his cum. I don't care because it's warm. It's a straight shot.
Mm-hmm.
It's like tequila, or it's like sake. You kick it back, boom. Hey, this is, it's a Marxist endeavor. Like some, with a shot, you're trying to get drunk.
Sure.
Take a load to come to the back of your throat, trying to get a bonus, or a bracelet or whatever you're working for.
No, that's definitely the trick with swallowing cum is to make sure the dick's far enough in the back of your throat that you don't have to.
Right.
You don't want to take it over all your taste buds.
Right.
That's not the goal. It's not a pate.
You're just trying to get it over with. The
It's
ends
not a fine
justify.
line.
Yeah,
Yeah.
ends justify the means. Just get it done.
Yeah.
And so the problem is, this dude. We did it. He like jerked off. Like I was sucking his dick, and then he was like had this fantasy of like he wanted to like jerk off, and I guess feed me his cum.
Ooh.
But once it hit the air,
Yes.
I was like, oh no, this tastes like boogers. This is cold. And he tried to feed it to me, and I was like, no. He's like, this will
baby
be hot. I'm like, he thought it'd be hot, and I was like, and I'm like, honestly, and I almost vomited. I was like, I'd rather you put your finger in my ass and then I'll suck that.
I'll suck that, right?
Because it's my own shit.
I'll suck my own shit off your finger before I'll take cum down the throat, but not once cum's hit the air.
Ew.
It's over.
It's not, and it tastes gross. And I take a lot of probiotics. I know you're very healthy.
Yeah, of course.
Probiotics are. In theory, if you're eating the shit of a healthy person, that's how you get good probiotics.
What I don't know that we can. I want to.
That's also how you get H. pylori.
I want to cross-reference that with a. I feel like Dan Savage was like, no, shit play is like dangerous.
Oh yeah,
I know pee is sterile. That
right.
for sure.
Yeah,
poop stuff. I don't know.
I don't do shit play, but I'm just saying. Obviously, wash your ass, but
Yeah. I've like.
We should really be sponsored by Hello Tushy, which is a bidet company, and they don't give us money yet, but they really should.
They really should.
And everyone that listens to us should have a bidet that they're using every hour.
Yeah. Before you stick your tongue, I've tasted like a fart. That's happened.
Yeah, that's gross.
Okay. So I went to the Women's March.
Oh yeah, that
with
follow up. I did not go, ironically, because I was had cripplingly debilitating cramps and anxiety and depression and hormonal rage.
Yeah.
So that's why I couldn't make. But I was free bleeding in my pants all day at Equinox.
That's
in protest.
That's very feminist.
Thank you.
So I think that counts.
Yeah, it was.
We all resist in our own way. You know? Not everyone
smelled like fish and a pile of iced pennies, and I just fucking did lunges and laps around the equinox.
Deal with it.
That was my women's march.
You fucking cowards.
How was it though?
Overwhelming. I mean, like we lined up to march. All the sex workers gathered together, like on 81st Street.
And you guys did, so that was a separate thing. I remember because I got Christina hit me up and was like, she was like, hey, women's march, we're meeting here at this time.
Yep.
And I was like, don't all the bitches just meet up in one place? But then you were the sex workers, so you guys, it was separate.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there were about 40 of us. There's a great picture of us in some publication. I think we retweeted it, but there's there were like 40 of us. And it was like strippers and escorts and porn stars, like all different kinds of sex workers together, some of whom I know, some of whom I didn't. But we're all impatient bitches. And so we got tired of waiting in line, and like the NYPD's policy on like what the fuck they were doing wasn't clear. Like, so I had friends meeting us, but they like closed off streets and shit, so like people couldn't get to us.
Right.
So we lined up, and then before our section was allowed to officially go, we just went off to the side and marched like next to the parade so that we could keep moving, and so that we didn't have to sit there and wait for permission to go, because you can't tell a bunch of whores what to do.
No, yeah.
You just
Breaking the
can't.
law.
We're not cool with it.
No. Plus, the longer they make you wait, part of it feels like,
Right.
because that would be like if there was like a rally like in Nazi Germany, and then there was a group that it was just like, this is our group and we're the Jews for Hitler, and they were like trying to march. They're like, how about if you guys just wait here and we'll let you through? Here. Oh, we have a special escort service for you. It's called in the back of this cop car. So it's probably better that you guys just jumped in there.
Yeah, we jumped in there, and so we had a couple of really fun chants. My personal favorite was "Bitches and witches and hoes unite, get ready to fight." That was fun for me.
Oh, cool!
Right, because the witches, right? Remember we talked about that, and then one of my favorite. Hey, we're hoes. We know that no means no. Hey, we're hoes. We know that no means no, which was, fun because
that's cute.
It's
easy.
Easy peasy.
Easy to remember.
Right. We're nailing it.
Oh, that's fun. You guys had a little chance.
Yeah, we had chance. It was fun. We
I
had
don't
a lot
mean
of
to say
fun
little.
signs.
That sounds like I'm being
they were short,
but I'm not. Yeah.
They were, they weren't long chants.
Right.
They weren't big chants.
Yeah.
It wasn't like like an Odyssey poem or something.
Yeah. How funny if there's no chant. I could never do a parade because I would go and it would not. It would just be me yelling.
Just you yelling, like just free thoughts.
Yeah.
There's a homeless guy around the corner on like 34th and 3rd or something who has like a lot of good points, but he just monologues like all day. He's got like a little blow. It's very funny. It's great.
Well, he should have a podcast. We should bring him on. How do you know he's not podcasting, but like into the future?
That's kind of a genius idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, it's hours and hours of content every day. Although he probably repeats himself, right?
I'm sure if we sat there and listened. Yeah. I would probably do a cramp at like a chance, but then I would end up just doing crowd work at a parade.
Yep. We did interact. Everyone was really, really supportive. We got a little bit of side eye, but like nobody confronting us, if that makes sense.
Like from other it's so crazy that people at the women's march, because wasn't it last year, didn't something happen last year where like sex workers were like someone what happened
last year? Sex workers were initially included, and then a bunch of people that think that whores are like tools of the patriarchy, which I think on this podcast, if you've gone this far, is not
that's not the case.
That's not the thing. There's whatever. So their idea that feminists and sex workers have antagonism. So they don't think that any woman should prostitute herself or sell her body to the man. And I get it. Like, this is like Andrea Dworkin, like all sex is shitty and exploitative, and all porn is like bad for women, like those bitches.
Right.
80s feminists.
It's such a strange, like, and I can understand if you've never had sex,
right,
or never spoken with a sex worker who's doing it by choice. I can understand you having that thought, an opinion, maybe, because you're like, oh, this seems terrible.
Right.
But then if you like have a conversation with one or two people and put on your and take away whatever, but just logically look at the logical, it's the opposite.
Yeah.
We're taking advantage of people.
Yeah.
And not, clients listen, and not in a mean way, not in like a shitty way, but it's like, it seems very silly.
We're getting money.
Yeah.
I've said this before. Like, I don't want to repeat myself too much, but like, there's a part of sex work that feels like witchcraft. Feels like a magic trick.
Yes.
You know, you're like making money from pussy. That's
right.
like, it's, you know.
So then the feminists, so this last year, sex workers then were were
last year,
disinvited?
No. They were explicitly included, but then some uppity bitches they were like, this is bad. So the sex workers were disinvited. And then
sound like some ugly ladies with mustaches that need a good wax. I'm being a bitch, but I'm not wrong.
No, but it's like the cool girls that are like, we don't want to invite these bitches to the party, you know?
Yeah.
And then the sex workers made more noise than them.
Good.
And we got quietly re-included. But this year we came out front and center with big signs, and we all wore red, and we're like, we're here and you can't ignore us. I mean, maybe you can, but that'd be shitty of you.
Yeah.
That's
We're
cool.
here, we're queer, but we're going to pretend to like dudes so we can get their money. That would be
hilarious.
We're here and we're taking a car because we have so much extra cash we don't know what to do with it.
That is fun.
We're here, but we'll be watching from a rooftop bar with seat warmers, because it's fucking cold and
we don't want to be too uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Oh. What else is going on?
Well, that's cool. I'm glad you went to that. That sounds fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very interesting thing that you have to like, that it still is, even today, a battle of inclusion.
Mm-hmm.
Because it seems like such a logical, and I know, you know, and like spoiler alert, we were talking about the story a little bit beforehand, but I mean, this goes hand in hand with what we're going to talk about today. And we're continuing our series, our saga on what the Nazi sex work in Nazi Germany.
Right. Not to be confused with feminazis, which are different in fundamental ways.
Right. And this is really interesting. And then if you didn't listen to the last episode, go back and listen to it. Those the Kitty Salon.
Mm-hmm.
But we went into the all the public accusations of you know, sexual assault, and sometimes someone just being a shitty dater and having no game.
Yeah.
You can still be an aggressive dude and it's not cool. You just have no game with the whole Aziz thing. Mm-hmm. And we made a joke on the last episode, but this is like people actually did. Our joke was something called Dickipedia, which was instead of writing like a tell-all, making it this big thing, we just do kind of like an all-access publication that where women can just talk about how shitty dudes are.
Yeah, I mean, it's so absolutely. I mean, like Dickipedia, I think is a good. That's definitely what we're gonna be talking about today.
Yeah, but this is like what these chicks did.
That's what these chicks did. So what we're talking about today is every history professor I ever had told me you can't talk about Nazi Germany without talking about the Weimar Republic, right?
Okay.
You can't talk about the period beforehand. So we're talking about 1920s Germany.
Okay.
February 9th, 1920, Der Pranger is published, and that translates into the pillory. So you know that wooden thing that has a hole for your head and then two holes for your hands?
Oh yeah, like the decapitation stocks.
Yes, but instead of decapitating people, they would just put them there and then like post their crimes and then like let passersby mock and throw shit at them. So it's like a public humiliation.
Yeah.
Basically. So that's what they called their newspaper.
That's like a glory hole where nobody gets off.
Yeah, exactly. It's the unfun kind of. It does have like a BDSM feel.
Oh, I would probably
right?
have a fucking screaming orgasm if someone hooks me up in one of those things.
Yeah, and then just let like passersby like yell obscenities and throw shit at you.
She stole from a donation jar for retarded kids when she was 8, which I did, and I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean that's humiliating.
And people walk by and call me mean. They would have to have a cum bucket underneath me.
I mean, if they did that to you at 8, I think that would be the only way that you could come for the rest of your life.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
That's how that would work out for sure.
Oh my God, maybe that's what happened. I got to go to my therapist after this. I got to do repressed memories.
Check in. So yeah, Der Pranger, it was a publication by and for communist whores in Germany. So the 1920s in Germany is a really crazy time because it's like right after the German economy kind of stabilizes after World War I, and this is like cabaret Germany. So like there are trans people, there are gay people, there are prostitutes are like regulated and they're a big part of like the public conversation. You've got communists and socialists and nationalists and all kinds of like crazy intellectual ideas. This is the most progressive era in German history up until the modern era. But which makes me real anxious because of what happened next.
Why? Oh God.
Because it.
Oh yes.
Yes,
oh
right.
yes. I remember
We're
that.
talking about the prelude to
I'm like,
Nazi Germany.
I'm like, wait, what happened
Oh my
next?
God,
It sounds fun.
Concentration camps happened next. The violent repression of all dissent happened next.
Oh, right.
The killing of the Jews and also others.
I'm like, wait, what happened after that? Is this about the magazine?
No.
Did they have a march?
No.
That's when they had a march and the chants were just terrible. It was all in German. You
Yeah.
couldn't understand it.
Yeah, German chants are weird. I mean, the German language, ich liebe dich.
Yeah.
Means I love you. Right. But like, doesn't it just sound like a phlegm hawking?
Yeah.
Like it sounds like an accusation.
Everything does. Now, my favorite thing in German is the word exit.
What is that?
It's pronounced Ausfahrt.
Ausfahrt?
And it looks like asphalt when you read it. And when I was in Germany when I was a teenager and I did an exchange program there. And that was our favorite thing. The Americans, it was the exit.
Asphalt.
Oh, yeah. AUSFARHT. Hilarious.
That's fantastic. So basically,
So it sounds like they're having fun.
They're having fun.
Yeah.
They're fun. They're publishing a newspaper. I like that they published February 9th. It's kind of, I bet they were supposed to publish like February 1st, but they just like couldn't get their shit together. Like sort of like with our Patreon. Like I just imagine it being like this weird.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're fun people. We're fun ladies.
We had shit to do.
Right.
So it's this organization of like unionized legal prostitutes that their end goal is to take away the conditions that force women to do prostitution against their will, right? So they're like, the problem isn't prostitution, the problem is capitalism. If we just gave everyone money, nobody would suck dick against their will. But they were like, but in the meantime, stop arresting us for dumb shit like leaving our house.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so this is a fairly repressive time. So
Okay.
like even though prostitution is ostensibly legal, it's so heavily regulated that like prostitutes are not allowed to advertise their services. They're not allowed to leave the brothel. Within the brothel, they're like super vulnerable to shitty madams and shitty like business owners, and they don't have like a lot of rights, so they start to band together and form these unions, and a lot of them have communist instincts. And so they start publishing this paper. Have you ever been to like San Francisco?
Yes.
Have you ever walked out of the subway and had a homeless person try to sell you a newspaper?
Yes.
Right. Like the buy the homeless for the homeless.
Uh-huh.
That's what this was. Right. So
Okay.
it's like by and for their community. So they're trying to target prostitutes in Hamburg, communists in Hamburg, and women that and sort of like women that might become communist if they thought about it for a minute, basically.
Look, look, this is for communists, prostitutes, or anyone thinking about becoming a communist or a prostitute.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Or anyone wants to help us. Oh, so this is a little bit more in detail than the Dickipedia idea
a
where we're
little
like, tell us if a boy was shitty to you.
Right, yeah.
But they're actually like enacting, like
They're-
trying to get...
They have policy recommendations.
okay.
Right. It's less, but they're also, because it's called the pillar, right?
Okay.
So normally it's prostitutes that are subjected to the pillar, right? Because you're a public disgrace, and so we're gonna publish your name and put you on the registry, and everyone's gonna be shitty to you, and that's your punishment for trying to make money with your pussy. And this newspaper is like turning that around and is like, nope, we're talking to all the prostitutes, and it turns out the moral police has been shitty, and these exploitative brothel owners have been shitty, and the fucking bureaucracy is shitty. We're putting you on the pillar. We're calling you out for your bullshit. So it's like a fun double entendre of like,
Yeah.
calling
That's
people out.
great.
Yeah.
But so they start doing this.
They start doing this, and they have a couple of issues that they want to focus on. And you'd think a communist paper by and for whores would be like a little bit of a free-for-all, you know?
Right.
But they actually really want what they call the Brennan system. I want to make sure I get this right. I mispronounce things on this podcast all the fucking time.
So wait a minute. So now the laws that they've
The
got
Brennan.
going on now
Yeah.
are like they can't leave their house. I don't understand that.
Sure.
What do you mean? So like...
So the regulations in Germany during this period are, in order to legally work as a prostitute, you had to register as a prostitute, and you could only work and live in licensed brothels. So once you registered as a prostitute, you were no longer allowed to just have an apartment. It was illegal to rent to you.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
Holy shit, that sounds exactly like right now.
Right, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
That's exactly what it is in Nevada.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they could only work within brothels. And then the whole thing was that they were trying to protect the public from prostitutes, right? So in these brothels.
Yeah, we don't want you guys having a good time.
Yeah. They didn't want them advertising their services and infecting the youth. Or like advertising that they were having a good time because that's too much for blah, blah, blah. So they weren't allowed to leave their rooms to like make eye contact with the public. And in the summer, they had to keep their windows closed. So they were basically like hotboxing these women, and they just didn't have freedom of movement.
So at that time, I guess people just found out about it like through word of mouth and dudes being like, this is a brothel, and then you just go in.
Yeah, you have to go in. So you couldn't like, in Amsterdam or other places, you have women that are like putting themselves in windows or like leaning out, like the Venetian courtesans would frequently like lean out of their home and like wave at passersby.
Right.
But these women were not allowed to leave. And they also had to. They were just like, it really is very similar to what's happening in Nevada today, that they had to have these regular STD tests. But of course, in the 1920s, like, what does that even mean? So yeah, it was a fairly repressive system. So what this newspaper was advocating for, the Bremen system, based on the regulations in Bremen, because like different municipalities in Germany were experimenting with different regulatory models, right?
Okay.
In Bremen, instead of isolating the registered prostitutes in brothels, they put them in like essentially a ghetto, like one private street with locked gates on both sides that was guarded by the police outside of the gates. But within the gates, security guards paid for by the collective prostitutes kept order, basically. So rather than this like antagonistic relationship where the police are trying to repress whores, the whores were paying security to keep them safe from nonsense. And
okay. So that worked.
Yeah, it was like a Hoetopia.
Yeah, that sounds great. Now, what I'm picturing, I'm sure this is not what it is. You know when you go to like a pound to adopt a dog and you walk in and they're just like in cages?
Yes.
And I'm sure that's not what it is. That sounds terrible.
No, that's not
but that's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, well, it's okay.
So they would, but it was just like a street. I mean, you just imagine, right?
It's a street, but it's like...
It's similar to like a red light district.
Yeah.
And what's it called?
Yeah, like a red light district. But it was like...
In Amsterdam. I know my countries. And what's it called? I'm like, the coffee's already wearing off.
There have been red light districts everywhere.
Okay, so it's like so now
Do you know where that comes from?
What
did we talk? Red light. So the red light.
The police sting Roxanne.
Captains of ships used to take red lights and hang them outside of the whorehouse that they were at, so that people could find them. And so that's where the red light district.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, because sailors and prostitutes have been going together like peanut butter and jelly for all of human history.
Oh, cool. That's really interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so they wanted to do that. So they wanted to set that. I mean, that would be kind of nice. I would do something like that.
Yeah, you'd like join like a whore commune.
I mean, what's the difference in like that and? Do you know what I'm saying? Like
a commune?
Well, no, like a brothel. What's the difference in that and just a regular brothel?
Well, the brothel's indoor. So their whole thing was like, we want to garden. We want to sing. We want to be able to like walk freely outside and like hang out with each other. We don't want to just be locked in our room. So if the brothel's like out in the community and the community's like so terrified of these prostitutes, they're like, you got to stay in your room. Whereas if you have a whole street,
their own little village,
they can make their own little
thing. Disneyland for hoes.
Yeah. And it actually reminds me, growing up and actually, if I'm being honest with myself, I think still I have this fantasy that me and my best friend
have a garden and you sing in it.
Yes, we sing in our garden and we farm fresh vegetables and make goat cheese. Right. But I wanted to get like a piece of property with her and then just have like a herd of illegitimate children. That was my fit. You look at your face.
Illegitimate children, like from who? That you just find, or that like
no that
you have
that we have. Yeah, I mean, sure, we'd pick up some extra kids if they were like. I don't know.
No, wait. Are these... okay, hold on. How many kids are we talking about here?
I don't know. Maybe like...
How many chicks... How many women... Like, okay.
You got so many questions.
This sounds terrifying to me.
Why?
Because kids are shitty. We already talked about that.
Well, they poop a lot, but that goes away. By 3, they're like aiming and hitting the toilet.
Yeah,
right?
but you have a bunch of like weird kids. well, not weird, they're yours, but they're from different dads. Now, are these dudes, now, are these like clients? Is this is part of the fantasy? Like, oh, we can just get.
I mean, I think
I like getting a cream pie. I know we're supposed to love condoms. I love the feeling of a dude coming all the way up inside of my uterus. Get the fuck out of town.
Making him eat it afterwards, a little subversive.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a great feeling. I wait till his own cum comes out room temp.
Ooh.
I shove up there the tampon, and then later I'm like, hey, you want to eat my pussy? Psych, motherfucker. It's your own snot. Your own dick snot recycled.
Oh, dick snot. Calling cum dick snot.
Dick snot. That's the cover band of the punk band Slipknot. That would be.
No, the whole thing is just like, I don't know, creating a place to parent that wasn't dependent on keeping dudes happy. Like, basically, like, just if you want a father, get in here, but if you leave, we're chill. Kind of like thinking of more like communal living stuff.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That sounds like a cult. That sounds like a cult.
Yeah, I want to start a cult around motherhood and Ishtar.
Oh my God. How many chicks do you want on this farm?
I don't know, just however many cool ones we can get together.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know.
I'm not.
You don't want to be a part of
this. I just don't want to
this.
raise kids. I like the fucking part. You know what I'll do? I'll just fuck. I'll get fucked, and I'll just have the babies, and then you guys can just raise my kids.
Yeah,
I'm
no
happy
problem.
Well, we got to start that now, because actually, now that I said that, I'm like, maybe I have like 2 good years left.
I mean, I oscillate back and forth between like my weird hippie mother commune shit and then just selling babies. Like, I go back and forth between those
selling
two.
babies?
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Back this truck up.
Right? Wait. Why is this so surprising? Obviously, there's a market for babies.
Hold on, back your hay truck up, you
what
weird.
What are you talking about?
You weird baby selling farmer. Hold on.
Baby selling farmer?
Wait a second. So you're like, I want to raise these kids. And I'm like, oh, that sounds sweet. And then you're like, what? So wait, so you want to sell the kids? So you want to have illegitimate kids on the farm, raise them, and then sell them?
No, you got to sell them before. Kids are a depreciating asset.
I
for sure.
know.
Yeah. You got a fresh baby.
They're depreciating and unappreciative in my experience.
Yes. Depreciating and unappreciative is fair and reasonable.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, just, like maybe you sell the first baby to pay for the next 2. I don't know. Is it like sell 1, keep 2 situation?
Oh, this sounds possibly more illegal than prostitution.
It's certainly way more unethical than prostitution has ever been.
1,000,000%.
Yeah, but only if you think babies are people.
Right.
So,
and they're not.
Right. No, not yet.
I barely think people are people. I don't even consider myself a person until I've had 4 cups of coffee. Put that on a T-shirt and sell it in your fucking PTA meetings.
But yeah, so like basically what these bitches are advocating for,
right,
is self-determination. Right, they wanted to live more autonomously.
Right, that makes sense.
Yeah, because when this newspaper comes out in the history of Germany, right, you've got the regulated prostitutes. And you've got the moral police that are like in charge of them, which were men doing what male police officers have always done to prostitutes, which is terrorize them.
Oh, I was gonna guess. Was there any point I thought we were guessing?
Oh no!
Is this in our Utopia fantasy? In our Hoetopia fantasy?
Hoetopia.
They're very polite, and they ask if we need help walking home.
Yeah. No.
And protection so no one steals all of our money.
What would your Hoetopia be?
Sleeping and having people just leave money in an envelope on the front door and fucking leaving me alone.
Leaving you alone. Yeah.
I could. That's ideal.
Yeah.
I had that happen. I had a couple where there were clients and they were just real shitty. And not shit, but just they were strange, and it just
you didn't click.
Didn't click, and they were emotionally manipulative.
Yeah.
And I had them a couple of them contact me recently.
Mm-hmm.
And like this last year, like Christmas and my birthday, contacted me. It had been like over a year since I talked to either 2 different guys. Mm-hmm. Over a year since I talked to either of them. And I got that exact thing. I was like, I don't want. They're like, I miss you, and I was like, I don't want to see you. I can't see you, and these are the reasons why. And they're like, I have a gift for you, and I'm like, that's nice. And the one guy,
your gift.
Right, and the one guy, he was like, well, look, just in case you change your mind, I got a hotel room. I'll be here. And then I never showed up because I'm like, I didn't show up. And he goes, well, I'm leaving. I'll leave it for you. And I thought he was going to leave it at the hotel. So he left. I stopped by. It was not at the front desk. I said, okay, and this is why I don't deal with you, because you're a liar, because there's nothing at the front desk, and I wasted my time. Mm-hmm. And he said, no, I wanted to give it to you in person. And I'm like, here's my fucking P.O. box. And he mailed a card with a bunch of cash and a gift card in it.
There you go. And you were like, you're not a liar, but I still don't want to see you.
Yep.
So
that I was like,
boundaries work.
I know. That was What a delight. I don't have to do anything. I had another guy. Yeah,
that's like a power trip enough to make me wet. Like that's some ballsy. Congrats. That's
Thank
amazing.
You. And then another guy who he was like, yeah. So that's my Hoetopia is me being able to lay in bed, do comedy, go out and do that, but then just have money show up in my mailbox and on my doorstep.
Yeah, well, that's what we're trying to set up with Patreon. So
get
on it, gentlemen.
Look at
Fulfill
that.
Wendy's Hoetopia.
The segues.
Boom.
Well, I'll send you a video of me laying on my couch watching TV.
We'll post it on. We got a paywall, so if you want to see that hot image, you got to become a Patreon supporter.
There are fetishes for that, like plus size, like big women eating fetishes.
Oh yeah, well, there's fetish for everything.
I know. I'm just that is my actual Hoetopia, is that I just get to gain 300 pounds and eat.
I remember what a mind-blowing moment it was when I found out about cake farting for the first time.
I'm sorry, what?
Cake farting?
What is that?
Did you don't know about this?
No, I do not.
Oh yeah, it's a whole porn genre
Of
women farting onto cakes, and and you see the icing move from the powers of their farts.
I am gonna be rich as fuck. I will be rich as fuck.
This is a real thing that exists in the real world.
I feel really, honestly, I feel betrayed that you've never told me about that until right now.
I'm so sorry. I thought everyone knew about this. I thought
Why
this
are
was
we
a viral sensation.
Why are we even doing this podcast? We could just be cake farting. And then we could cross promote and get rid of sell the rest of your t-shirts from your cake tour.
Yeah. Oh, that's a genius idea. Yeah. Oh, we got to have a cake farting.
I know.
Abby would be so mad.
Yeah. We could be doing that. But instead we're here trying to be smart and help the community and bring sex workers up and look at us.
There's just a lot going on.
We could be farting on cakes and we're doing this show right now.
I want to get back into some of the issues that Pranger.
So were they ever able to enact the Bremen system or no? In other places?
No, like Nazism happened, and so they sort of lost focus.
They took half the idea. They're like, okay, so listen, Horst, we like the idea of the camps, but instead of you guys living there and singing and having gardens, we're gonna put Jews in it.
No, it's real, and what's so fascinating is that if you look at the early propaganda of the Jewish ghettos, they really use a lot of these ideas of like this like separate but equal idea of like y'all are social outcasts, no one likes you, we don't like fuck you, we're just gonna put you in these camps and you can have your own Jewtopia idea. And the German people were like, yeah, sure, that sounds nice, because the prostitutes themselves had been advocating for this, and it could have worked,
right?
But that's not how it went down.
No,
obviously. So
they're like, we like it,
right? It works for like if you're like self doing it, you're like, I choose to go be with people that are of a like mind, and we're gonna grow vegetables and have sex for money, and we're not gonna be bothered by the police. Right. That idea works great.
That does sound. That's a nice. We just grow vegetables, have sex for money, and fucking back off. And it's called and when you come to the town, you come there. We call it get hose.
Get hose.
And then they're like, we like it. We're gonna shorten it and put a bunch of Jews in there. It's the ghettos.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Thank you so much. I was been working on that pun in my brain.
Oh man. Oh, that
get hose.
That's so good it hurts. So yeah, so we see some of these ideas obviously like perverted and used wrong, and they were spending time on this like freedom of movement stuff. Like there was one girl that like stepped out of her house when she was greeting her fucking husband, and that's like, and she spent a week in jail because it's just super dumb. But one of the issues that they spent a lot of time on that I think you find interesting is that they wanted to end the forced drinking that legal registered prostitutes were suffering from. So the prostitutes are forced to work in these brothels, right? The brothels are owned by landlords that have a bar. Mm-hmm. And so they were pressuring their employees to drink a lot with their clients before sessions so they could make money on the bar. But the prostitutes are like, this cost me money. It's
they had to pay?
Yeah, they had to pay for their own fucking drinks.
Bitches had to buy their own drinks?
Yes. They don't even make comics pay for their own drinks. This is bullshit.
Yeah, at least we get a drink ticket.
Yeah, and of course you get your cheap clients that like don't want to pick up, but I digress.
I want to add that to my Hoetopia fantasy. Me laying in bed, getting money, showing up, and I don't pay for alcohol.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable, right? I don't think funny people should pay for alcohol.
No.
Yeah.
And people with good pussy. Or good dick. Or a good attitude.
Yeah, just fun people.
Yeah.
So it's bad for their health, obviously.
Yeah, no shit.
And something that they pointed out over and over again in this publication was that all of the problems that were associated with prostitution were actually the result of alcohol. Drunk clients acting a fool, drunk prostitutes acting a fool. And so the prostitutes were like drunk and vulnerable, and the clients were drunk and rowdy and often violent. And so they were like, stop forcing us to pour alcohol on this situation. It's bad for everyone.
Interesting.
So
they were like prohibitionists.
They're almost prohibitionists. Yeah. So I mean, like, and the early feminists during the Prohibition period in the U.S. make similar arguments. They're like, alcohol leads to domestic violence, therefore stop selling alcohol for women. And then things went real wrong real fast. But Prohibition impulses are usually dumb and wrong.
What's so interesting is the alcohol thing, and I just recently, and this was like, and this is something I had to teach myself. That makes sense, I think, and I listened to, and shout out, because she's given our podcast a shout out on her Twitter, but Lola Davina does a book called Thriving in Sex Work. She does a book. She wrote a book. She does a book. She does a book. She does a
masturbates
podcast.
To it. Like, just rubs it on her.
She fucks a book every night. Yeah. That's the only book club I've ever been able to stick with.
I get it.
Do you read it? Nope. We
just a nice hard surface.
Right. Yeah. And it's fun to find out like different like lengths of book. The width, the length. How are we putting it in? Do you roll it up? Like, is it a pamphlet? Are you rolling it up?
Paperback for spanking.
Right.
Yeah.
See? So,
but hardback, it's flogging.
Yes. Lola Davina does so she wrote a book called Thriving in Sex Work. A self-help book for sex workers. And I listened to she does a great podcast, and they're short clips, but they're just, and she talks a lot about and hits on the problem of addiction that sex workers have. And I know we've talked about it kind of a little bit on the podcast, but it's it's something that I know that you and I have talked about private, and it's fun. And we like to talk about history on the show, but also like to hit on like issues that are, because that I think is, aside from people from the outside coming in and attacking sex workers and being shitty, like the feminists that think they're helping by being the Captain Save-A-Hose, and then the law enforcement, and then abusive clients. But then another big problem, another killer of sex workers, and is ourselves,
is addiction.
Addiction, because it's, and Lola talks about that a lot in her book, and it's like self-care, and a big part of it is like limit alcohol consumption, like a couple times a week max, but like
at work and also outside of work. I know like a lot of like ostracized groups will like self-medicate with alcohol. And then like when you are a professional partier, right? Whether you're a comic or you're a prostitute or you work in sales, like the culture of consumption of like alcohol, cocaine, bad for you food, it's overwhelming. Right. I mean, and so you see the pressure from these brothels to push alcohol on the women working there. It degrades their health, right? I think you were saying before, like it just eats you from the inside.
You can't, and I had this. So here's an issue. Then so it's two things. One, sex work is a job. So even though it's fun and it can be fun, it's also a fucking job.
Yes.
It's so you're showing up, and like even, and I never had like a long day, like an hourly day, but I had days, this was like a year and a half ago, where I was seeing all three of my dudes on the same day. It's just how it worked out.
Yeah, you can't get fucked up.
No.
Period. That's
no, you can't. You have to like, and it is fun, and there's a weird, because even before I was doing sex work, when I would go on a date, I would always have a drink or two before I'd fuck, or like, it's fun. You go out on, like, when you have a boyfriend, you have wine, you have a date night, or you go on a date and you have a couple drinks to get loose. So there's that anxiety of a normal like dating. Ooh, I'm gonna get naked and have sex, and you want to like be relaxed so you can come or whatever.
Right. So some people have a couple of drinks in order to relax, to take their clothes off, and
And so when you have that, and then combined with also it is your job, and people that have office jobs, New York, get the fuck out of my pussy with trying to get a seat at any bar in this city between 5 and 7.
Yes.
On a weekday.
Yeah, no, people want to relax after work
Right.
with a couple of drinks.
Because they're like, I'm stressed out of my job. And so they'll go, and in a high-pressure sales job, a lot of these assholes are drinking in the day.
Yeah.
On their lunch breaks.
They're 5 martini lunches.
Yeah. And so when you combine those two, that's when I started doing sex work. Even though it didn't, because to me, I never thought of it. I was like, it's not sex work. It's just like I'm dating a couple different guys. I'm just having like dates where I'm getting money and gifts in exchange.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, but the pressure.
The pressure to like have fun and like the pressure to like party is absolutely there. And it's I feel that pressure is absolutely there, but to a lesser extent within comedy. Part of it is that like we're getting paid in drink tickets
right.
A lot of the time. So it feels like not drinking is not a part of your, like, then you're like fucking, you're not being compensated if you don't drink.
Yeah.
A scam I used to, well, I don't know if it's a scam so much. It's a survival tactic that I used when I first got to New York and was like a broke ass comic before I decided to start doing sex work.
Like I would trade drink tickets for babies and sell them
and
use that to
on
buy
the open
food.
market. Every day that baby exists outside your uterus, it depreciates a little bit more. No one wants your old baby coming out of your old womb. So I used to get drink tickets and then strike up conversations with men that I used to target, that if I was working as a sex worker, I would have tried to target, you know, and then would just try to get them to buy my drink ticket from me. So
nice.
So I try to turn my drink tickets into cash, because I didn't drink the first year that I moved to New York as a survival mechanism. And then something really bad happened after a drunk night that I had, and I didn't drink for another year. So I've lived in New York for 7 years, and I've spent two of them sober. Yeah, because we should get into that.
No, but that's good, because I mean, and I notice this too, and this is something that you don't think about. Sex workers, and it's fun to party. Mm-hmm. But like the professional and the one guy that I saw for a very long time, that was intense partying. That was drugs when I got off the elevator to walk into his apartment.
Holy shit, that's intense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I know. I think I told you this. I mean, I can remember it was like, and I had done cocaine a handful of times, but I wasn't like doing it on any kind of regular basis. Right. And when I'd done it before, it was like I'd have one or two lines, and then I was like, holy fuck. And then I was like, no, I'm good. Because I was like, my heart's going to explode. And I just was like, I don't want to be up, because the bipolar, I don't.
Yeah. That makes sense.
It's not good. But with him, I remember, and it was this, and it's he's in a 4-story penthouse. So I would show up after like working a day job as a cat sitter, going to the gym, or temping at Calvin Klein, whatever I was doing. Mm-hmm. So I was still like working part-time, and then go to the gym, whatever, and get to his place around like 9-10 o'clock at night. The elevator goes all the way up to the top. The top floors are his. Mm-hmm. It opens up, elevator doors open right up into the 3rd floor, which is a kitchen, living room with a grand piano. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a fucking nice operation. Right. Okay? And he would be like, babe. And it's a literal silver platter. Literal. Ha! A literal silver platter with glasses of champagne and lines of cocaine on it.
Jesus the fuck Christ. Did he put that together, or does he have staff for that?
He would put that together.
Aww.
Which is very sweet. One time his buddy who would come over, one time his friend came over to meet me. Mm-hmm. He just wanted to be, he's like, this is my new girl. And his friend brought it to me, and I was like, Jesus, this motherfucker's got... But he's very sweet, but like so that was that kind of partying.
Yeah.
Now that turned ugly very quickly.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And it wasn't like, it was when I was with him, it felt okay because you're there and it was normal.
Yeah.
And then, there is a big fucking difference in waking up hungover in like a multi-million-dollar penthouse.
Nice sheets make everything better.
Yes, where you wake up and you're like, oh, I'm hungover, but it's like you press a button and the window's open, and how many curtains you want to open, and then you walk downstairs and there's coffee and whatever you want, you just get ordered and everything's delivered, and you have access to that, and you've got balconies on every fucking thing.
It's very different than waking up in like a filthy bedbug infested apartment with like a sheet and like no heat and a nightmare where you're like, oh, I can see that this was a mistake.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. And that's now I noticed in that too. And we've taken, but like that was a huge thing. So that rapidly, and that's a problem, because if you're in environments or like in hotels, even it can feel like not bad.
Yeah.
But if you gotta fucking watch that.
You have to watch it for so many reasons, because you have the long-term erosion of your health, right? Of like just substance abuse leading to all of the fucking health consequences.
Right.
But also more acutely, being drunk puts you in a really, really vulnerable position, and a client sex worker relationship is already vulnerable. This Me Too movement that's happening has sparked a national conversation about how vulnerable women just are in the world, right? Like we're physically smaller, we're nervous walking to our car, we're nervous in the office, You don't want to upset a man, because if you do, he might get angry and violent. So like that's just true for like everyone all the time.
Yes, 100%.
Right, absolutely. But then you add social outcast and on a substance to that, and you're talking hyper vulnerable, especially when you're dealing with a drunk dude. So like already some men can have a hard time hearing women. Right. Like when they try to say things like no. There's just a really hard time understanding how that would, but then you add alcohol to that, and like drunk people can't hear each other, period. No. Right. It's like, so it's absolutely really vulnerable. So like the first time I gave up alcohol was just I don't know how the subway works, and also I'm working at Starbucks and alcohol's expensive, so I'm good. So I didn't drink there. But the second time was not during a client, but just within the context of comedy. I did cocaine for the first time in my fucking life.
All right. I'm joking. It's a joke.
The neat trick about Coke is that you can drink more than you're accustomed to.
It's very nice. You put more cocaine's fun. I think it's a smart move, because you're putting poison into your body directly by way of your brain.
Right. Yeah.
It goes through your nostrils straight up into your brain and triggers serotonin and dopamine release. So you're putting poison into your brain so that you can continue to consume more poison through your stomach and liver and bloodstream. It's a good system.
A
wonder that I'm alive.
It's super sustainable until you go to sleep. And then, because if you can keep that Coke alcohol balance going, you can go until you die. That's, So I drank more than I was accustomed to, and had some not consensual sex. All
right.
Yeah, super fucking fucked up. And the whole that spun me for like it's turned into years now.
Wow.
But no, because it's so fucked up the way that we talk about like rape and sexual assault, because it was one of those situations where I was like blackout drunk but not pass out drunk, so like I may have been saying really confusing things like please have sex with me. So it was one of those things where it's like I got hurt by somebody who didn't mean to fucking hurt me, and it was just, and like the combination of substances I was on, so it started with Coke and alcohol, and then when we were alone, I added marijuana to that cacophony of things, and then all the alcohol hit me at once, and I like just lights out. I mean, and that's a really scary feeling. And I can't imagine trying to negotiate boundaries or anything with a client in that kind of fucking headspace.
Oh, no.
Yeah. It's like when I first started working, when I was like 17, 18 years old, people would try to bring me, I'd be working at like 3:00 in the afternoon, and somebody would bring like a bottle of wine, and I'd be like, I'm 18, I'm not old enough to drink. Like,
oh my God, that's so funny.
That was my boundary setting. Like, don't you want some? I'm like, no, I have homework this afternoon. Actually, I can't like be drunk.
Oh, that probably turned them on so much more.
Boing.
But that's good that you didn't do that, because it really is. It's like it spirals.
It spirals. Yeah. So. And the week after that, I was drinking like a lot, and then that's when I was like, I have to. This is bad for me. I can't do this. So I took a year off, and then started again. So we'll see what happens next.
Well, what's interesting is, and I found this my pattern with myself, and this is until when I very first was on Seeking Arrangements, and I started meeting up with different people. I can remember I would go and like meet with a guy. And either at his place or you get a hotel. And so we go have dinner and then have sex, have an amazing time. And then he would leave and I'm in a hotel room by myself. And the rush of being like, I was like, okay, that felt good. And then I thought, okay, but that, even though I was having fun, And even though I was having drinks, dinner, having a great time, if that had been a date where no one had paid me, I would have been like, what a great date. And I would have gone the fuck to sleep. But because I had the feeling, the sensation of like, oh, I'm done with work.
Yeah.
Time to go and treat myself.
Yeah.
I did that a lot.
That is so true.
I did that a lot. And when I very first started, and
Yeah.
it didn't click in my brain until later, because I was like, why I'm going out. I show up, and this one guy that I saw, it was only saw him a handful of times, but I noticed with him, it was like he would bring wine, really nice wine. So we'd split a bottle of wine, and we'd fuck, and we'd go to dinner and come back and have the other bottle of wine and fuck, and then he would leave. And now I'm buzzed, but I also had a fucking, and he was a great, really nice guy, very generous. I would have a fuck ton of cash and a nice ass hotel to myself, and it's 11 o'clock at night, and I'm like, I'm now, and I'm like, oh, I'm off the clock. And then I would, but then you're tired. And I'm like, when I'm tired, I'm too tired to drink. And I'm like, I will just get cocaine.
That solves that problem.
And then and then it's like,
the goal is to drink. What can I do?
It's the craziest thing because it's like, I'm tired, I'm full, I just came. I want to go to sleep.
Yeah.
But then that weird thing in your brain where you're like, oh, I'm done with work.
They've
so
also
dangerous.
It's very dangerous. And like, not to like continue to nerd out, but like I read, there have been studies that like getting money, like whether it's a sales job or it like prostitution or like cash money can have a similar impact on your brain that cocaine does.
Oh, I've read that too.
Yes.
It's almost the dopamine dump.
Yes. The dopamine dump
in your brain from cocaine is almost identical to getting unexpected money and specifically cash.
Yes, and because this feels like a magic trick, it can be an upper, it can be a stimulant, and it can be addictive. And so like when people talk about women getting lost in the sex work industry or like chasing the dragon or whatever it is, like this is the dynamic that they're talking about where it starts off like any substance abuse with you having fun and ends with you desperately seeking something.
Right. And I can save him for myself. And I know with the guy with the penthouse. And I had this realization. I'm a smart lady. Yeah. I'm like with it. I get it. But when I was not with him, or I would see him and we went our visits as like I kind of like started seeing him less. Our visits would get shorter, but so we'd see each other and do a little bit of blow, have a couple drinks, and then he would leave. And then I'm like, oh wait, normally we used to spend the whole night together. Right. And so I'm like, I want to keep riding this train. This feels good. It's the same idea as like with eating disorders and any addiction. Like you lose 5 pounds, someone goes, you look great, and you're like, well, if I look great now, what if I lose 5 more? And then you keep it. It's like no. Yep. You have to not be a baby and like, you
you have to be an adult.
Like, you can't, that's not how it works. And you don't just get what you want right away. This is not, and you have to understand that like drugs specifically, and a lot of things, even like food, like, wow, this bite of cake is delicious. Well, now if I'm
but a whole cake is gross.
Right. It's gross. Yeah. And now you have health problems.
Yeah.
And now you're not even tasting anymore. And then you create an addiction on sugar, which is why we got to start farting on those cakes and making money.
There's no downside health-wise to farting on cakes.
But it is a cumulative, like, drugs and alcohol, obviously, for so many reasons. Not only does it, and then you're eating garbage food, and then you feel like shit, and then you shame spiral, so you emotionally feel like shit, and then you start to look like shit.
And then you start, you feel like shit, then you start to look like shit,
and you're going to get a yeast infection.
Yeast infections.
I mean, with too much, I swear to God.
Nothing sounds like I've never thought eating a whole pizza was a good idea unless I was high and drunk. Like that's it. No, you're right. All of these vices like feed each other. Yep. You're right. It just spirals and it can get out of fucking control. And I think it's so interesting. Like, I think comics are like this. I think, prostitutes are like this. You have to be a fucking grown up because we exist outside of the system. We exist outside of like a regulatory system. Because like, if you can be like a functioning alcoholic, and if you have to like show up to work every day at 9 a.m. and you have like an HR department and somebody pulls you into an office and tells you that you smell like garbage and that's unacceptable. Like you have people that are like keeping you within bounds.
Right.
But if you're a fucking comic or you're a fucking prostitute, you exist outside of all of that shit. So like you have the safety net isn't there.
Right.
And you can just fall through.
Yeah. And you have to police yourself.
Yes.
And you
like
probably,
a grown-up.
Exactly. And you've probably experienced this. I know I for sure have. I'll go to a show and I get a water or I walk in with a sugar-free Red Bull, which is not good, and I've been trying to cut all that shit out too. But like, all of a water. Like you go to the bar and like, do you want to drink? And I'm like, I'll just like I'm like, I'll do like the seltzer water with bitters because it's good for your stomach, and it's like is fizzy, so it has the same sensation. And I normally will just drink vodka or tequila soda, so it's like it doesn't even taste like anything. It tastes like the same as a fucking soda water to me.
Yeah.
And that is called alcoholism. No, but I can't taste it.
Yeah.
Which is why
sneaks up on you.
And so I'll get the same drink, but if I'm not drinking booze, comics freak the people and they're other drinkers.
Yep.
It's other people, and not that they're bad or that they're trying to be enablers or they're whatever, but it's just in both of our lines of work, if we're not drinking, people are like,
what's wrong?
Are you sober now?
Are you sick? Yeah. Are you sober now?
Like,
are you sick?
I just don't want to have a drink right now. And they're like, is it okay? Like,
yeah, what's wrong?
They're like, oh, is everything crumbling around? He's like, Jesus Christ. There's like pressure to either be, there's pressure in both lines of work. It feels like
from clients.
Yep. From clients. And from comics in both lines of work, it seems like there's this weird pressure and perception that you are either sober, or you are actively abusing substances.
Yes,
you can't just be like,
not want to drink right now,
right? Like
just
no,
because sometimes you don't want to drink,
right? I just don't feel like drinking because I'm tired and I just have shit to do and I don't feel like it.
Yeah,
and it's like, but people freak out, and even clients, and there's some, and there's, my favorite client that I thankfully not a drinker. I mean, he'll go out and have a glass. He just doesn't like it.
Yeah. I mean, I've met people like that. I know that they exist.
Right. It was when with the penthouse guy, when I would see him, when I knew I would see him and I would take breaks where I was like, okay, I'm not drinking. I'm not doing drugs. Like, this is crazy. And then when I knew I was going to see him, I had to emotionally be like, if I go in there and don't have a glass, he's going to offer me a glass of wine and cocaine. And if I go, no, thanks.
It's going to be a fight.
It's going to be a fight. And guess what? My ass is going to have to start taking the train again and paying for food. And guess what? That's a wrong fucking answer, Wendi.
Yep.
So I would just...
to gird yourself.
And so I would just suck it up and just do, the last couple times I saw him, less of everything.
Yep.
A lot more water.
Yeah.
Because he's not paying attention.
He's not paying attention. Yeah. So
he's not monitoring what I'm doing. He's not like what was happening in Germany.
He just doesn't want to hear the no.
Right.
Yeah.
I can nurse the same glass of wine and walk up to the counter and straight up pretend to do drugs.
Yes.
He's not paying attention.
Yeah.
He's on his phone. He's watching TV. I go in the other room and I'm like, I'll be right back. And you just like, thankfully everyone's got a head cold. So I'm sniffling anyways. And I'm just like, oh, God bless. Do you know?
Yeah, I do.
But you just sometimes, and it's an interesting thing to navigate, and I'd be interested if any listeners, please email us.
Yeah, email us your substance mitigating, your like what you do to protect yourself on the job. Whether it's like nursing one glass of wine for a long ass time. I know a lot of escorts that like pretend to do shots, like just the straight up Coyote Ugly shit.
Right. That's dancers do that.
Yeah,
dancers for sure. I mean, because there's
economy around moving alcohol, right?
Yeah, even comedians.
Yep.
I had a joke that when I joked about like drinking and doing drugs, I had a joke about that where I when I was an MC in Florida when I started at the Improvs, and I can remember one time the manager came up to me and he goes, "Hey, you know that joke you do about like showing up to your friend's wedding on coke and fun drunk?" And I'm like, yeah. He goes, "I need you to start doing that again." And I'm like, well, but I already know it works. I'm working. He goes, no, your set's fine. He goes, but if you could just try to work that joke in, because when you do that joke, alcohol sales go way up.
Yeah. Right. So it's like these fucked up incentives that are built into these weird subcultures that can just lead down this like primrose path to hell. That's oh, fucking Jesus. Do we want to talk about San Francisco?
Yes, because this is really interesting.
I am
and it's
so excited
timing.
about this.
Do you want to let's plug our shit so we can follow us?
Absolutely.
You go first.
All right. Follow me at Kaytlin Bailey, spelled all fucked up, Kaytlin. Follow us at Old Pro Podcast on Twitter and Instagram. We're also on Facebook. We post our episodes. We post fun thoughts. And we've got our Patreon at Patreon/Old Pro. We got a lot of cool shit going on, fun stories, bonus material there's stuff you want to hear. It's It's going to be great.
We got bonus shit up there.
And buy tickets to our show, the Old Pro Show, happening at Club Cumming February 15th. And come out and
that's
support.
at 10 o'clock. That's going to be really fun.
10 p.m.
We have links on the social media. You can follow me at Wendi Starling on Twitter, at WendyBird82 on Instagram. But yeah, I guess, and thank you guys so much for the emails. I want to I think I missaid your name. I want to say thank you to Claire,
Yes.
who emailed about, thank you for emailing us. And that's a fake. You can give us a fake name. We'll do a code name on the podcast, but she was great. And thank you guys so much. We want this to be a place where you can, feel like you have a place to go and people to talk to. Because even I was talking to Kaytlin.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have anyone. I have like Kaytlin to talk to and my buddy Steven, who I do my other podcast with. Other than that, I don't really. It can feel lonely.
It can feel lonely because it's hard. It's hard to talk about subcultures generally.
Yep.
But like sex work specifically, it's
right.
It's
People
weird.
they can pretend from an outside place, they can pretend to be like real on board, but they get real judgy and a lot of people don't understand it. So please, and I'd love to hear how you guys deal with alcohol.
Yeah.
And drug use and if you still do it at all, if you completely cut it out, because that I think is something that people in our community need to be talking about more.
Yes. Is like what tactics you use.
That is this.
Yeah.
I honestly think that's like a silent killer and we don't talk about it enough and we don't talk about, and it's okay to admit, and this is something we'll get into in another episode in more depth, but as far as admitting that like, hey, sometimes I get done with a client, I'm like, I don't feel good about that.
Yeah.
And then you self-medicate.
Yeah.
But so,
or even just like what you were talking about, you can feel great about it.
Right.
And there's just something in our culture where it's like, oh, I'm done with work. Time
to get fucked up.
Gotta get a drink, or it's like the day never ended.
Right. It's like, bitch, it's midnight. You've been drinking. You're on a bunch of drugs.
What are you doing?
You already had dinner twice.
That's great.
But yeah, and Claire also gave me a lead on apartments. I found a place to live.
Ooh.
I don't know if I told you guys that last week, but I found a place to live, but I'll hit you up in April for more recommendations. So thanks. We love you guys.
This episode is sponsored by Velvet Swing, which is a cannabis-enhanced lube that is very nice.
Ooh.
You should follow the founder. This is a whore-owned and operated business.
Okay.
Mistress Matisse on Twitter. So buying this product supports not just your own sex life, but also the sex worker rights movement. Mistress Matisse is a big deal.
Thank you, Mistress.
Yes, you can follow Mistress Matisse at Mistress, MISTRESS, Matisse, MATISSE.
Yeah, you know why we feel so good? Because while you were in the kitchen about 10 minutes ago before we recorded this, I took that cannabis lube and I jammed it in my butthole. I'll tell you, not the thing.
How do you feel?
Amazing.
Right? You feel relaxed?
I feel my butthole feels great.
Your butthole feels
Oh my
relaxed?
God, I didn't even think about this. This would be great for anal.
Of course. Yeah, you can't overestimate the importance of a relaxed butthole.
I love anal already. I'm going to be squirting all over the wall if I put some... Okay, now I do want to wrap this because I want to go get fucked.
Velvet Swing, so you can get high while getting down.
Yeah, let's hit this up.
Yeah, let's hit. So the Bay City Beacon published a piece that is fucking awesome about Maxine Dugan, who's been a long-time sex worker activist in San Francisco, and she's got a case that's making its way through the courts that would decriminalize sex work in 8 fucking states. Right?
What?
So as if you're a listener of the podcast, you know from our first episode about Atoy that prostitution was first criminalized in California in 1872, right? We covered that way back in the fucking day, mostly as like an anti-Chinese thing. And they've been fiddling with the law, right? They were like, so recently they were like, we got to stop arresting minors, because they're victims, and more recently they started actually enforcing the law on Johns and men, right? So there's that big sting of like Amazon CEOs and like people that are like serving jail sentences for being traffickers that are like dudes for like just seeing prostitution. Mm-hmm. And in a not unrelated note, it's very possible that 8 states decriminalize prostitution because one of the judges of the case went on record to say, why is it illegal to sell something that you can give away for free? which I think is a really good question.
That's a great question and a great point. A judge brought that up.
A judge, yeah, one of the judges that is going to be looking at this case is on record of saying that, and other supportive things. So it's one of the most liberal Supreme Courts in the country, and so there's a real possibility. So follow that case. We'll certainly be covering it here. I just want to plug her organization, so that you can donate to them if you're into that. Cool. And it's called she started the Sex Workers and Erotic Service Providers Legal, Educational, and Research Project, and the acronym is ridiculous. LSLRP. We have to get better at naming shit, bitches. We've got
LSLRP.
LSLRP. Yeah, SPLRP. Yeah, donate to SPLRP. It is the Sex Workers and Erotic Service Providers Legal, Educational, Research Project.
Splurp. That sounds like a move where a guy makes you eat the cum he's held out at room temp for 20 minutes.
Slurp.
We'll work on the acronym, but support it. She's continuing the work of the chicks in Germany, right?
Yeah, absolutely. She's continuing to fight for decriminalization and for us to stop being arrested, harassed, and otherwise shit upon unless he's paying you extra.
Right. I'm so excited. Maybe she'll set it up. I believe one day you're going to have a ranch where you can sell your own babies.
Yeah, I hope so too. Wait, let's all push forward to that Hoetopian future where I can freely sell my babies on a ranch. Jesus. Thank you so much for listening. This has been
The Oldest Profession.